David Alter of the National Post, joined by Mike Zeisberger of the Toronto Sun, and it is Phil Kessel's return here at Air Canada Centre. But a really strange thing, they are not going to acknowledge Phil Kessel's contribution to this team, which is a little bit interesting given how much points he's put up. He's been the Iron Man for this team over the last 6 years. What do you make of this?
In a way, it doesn't surprise me too much, Dave, because just for the fact that when you think about the way that he left, when you think about the fact that, and I think too much is made of this, but his responsibility in that whole salute gate thing last year where they didn't salute the fans, and the fact that the one major player in a house cleaning that they got rid of was Phil Kessel. The optics suggest that this should not be surprising. Is it right or wrong? You know what? Given the fact that how many 30-goal seasons he had, you know, they could have very well made a legitimate point to put him up there, but I can understand, given what's happened, why this management team wouldn't want to do it.
I understand it a little. I would just think that it's better to err on the side of caution with these things, especially from a PR standpoint, to do it in a commercial break. You can bury it, but at least the acknowledgement of doing something is enough to cover off all bases. But enough of that. Phil Kessel coming back here, what do you think the crowd will be like when he steps out there for warm-ups?
Well, it's funny, I talked to, on Friday, Penguins general manager Jim Rutherford, and he didn't predict, but he said, you know what, he thinks that too much is made, that Phil Kessel was made the scapegoat here, he shouldn't have been. But I do expect there to be a significant amount of boos, whether they're deserved or not, I'm not sure. I mean, you know what, the optics, once again, people didn't think he was always going full speed, but at the same time, that's a lot of 30-goal seasons, and we're seeing this year the fact that the Leafs can't score. No matter what you thought of Phil Kessel, missing him, you can see that on the score sheet.
There really is no comparable. When Mats came back, there were a lot of cheers. There were some boos because he went to Vancouver. Vince Carter, probably the closest, but even then, he was adamantly against admitting things he did bad with the organization, where Phil Kessel really has not really done that. But it'll be interesting. That's Mike Zeisberger. I'm David Alter for Post Media News.